So in the last video, I showed you how to make your accordion fold, making sure you have the tabs, and then how to hinge it together to make it longer. So now I'm going to teach you how to make a cover and then attach it. So at the end, it's going to look like this. It's going to have paper cover, and then this is going to tuck into your book and be glued in. So the first thing that you need to get done is making a little like cardboard or cardstock piece. This is what makes your cover stiff. So if you don't have this and you try to like stand up your book, it's going to be really flimsy because it's just paper, so it can not stand up. So you're going to cut these. The way you want to do it is cut it exactly to the size that you have your paper folds. So for example, this one I've cut down to size like so. And if you want it to hang over a little bit, like for example, you want it like this all the way around, you're just going to cut it a little bit to size. I like doing that sometimes if I really want to keep the content inside of my book safe, because then having that excess around the edges just keeps the inside safe. But totally up to you, artist choice. The way I do it is I will just take my piece of paper or my cardstock or cardboard, whatever I'm using, and I will just put my book and use my book as my measure as opposed to trying to use a ruler. It's just easier. Take a pencil and just kind of mark where it hits, and then leave this aside, and then I will just take my paper with my markings and my pair of scissors, and I will just cut that. Like so. And then you do want two, because one per cover, right? So you're gonna have a front cover and a back cover. So then what you do is you take your cardboard piece that you made, and then whatever choice paper you want. I personally like this one. It's pretty, right? But again, it's going to be whatever cover suits your project. So the way you want to do this is you're going to have one piece of paper that's cut exactly along this edge with tabs on the top and the bottom. And then you're going to have a second piece of paper that you cut exactly along the top and bottom edge with tabs along each side. The reason being, when you put the two together, they're going to like tuck into each other to cover this piece of cardboard, which is like your book board essentially. So I will just show you how I do that real quick. So for this one, on tabs on either side, I just kind of line it up and pinch it. And then use my scissors to just kind of cut. And then sometimes I'll just cut all the way because having all that excess paper kind of gets in the way. So just put that aside, and I'll keep that lined up as much as I can. And then I'll do my very, very best to cut along that paper edge as closely as I can get it. Like so. And then what else I like to do is kind of cut off these corners just a tiny bit, because when you tuck them in, it's a lot harder to tuck them in with this excess corner. And we're all about making our lives easier, right? So just cut those in a little bit. Same thing over here, just kind of cut the corners. Nothing fancy or special. Like so. So that's one piece of paper done. Oh, I want this. So then I have to do top and bottom. So I'm gonna leave a little excess there, line this up with my edge as best I can, kind of keep it in place and pinch it. I'm going to cut so I leave that tab up top, like right here. And again, I just cut that excess away so it's out of my way. cut this edge as closely to my book board as I can, and you do want to make those little corner cuts here too. So just kind of cut that a little bit so it's easier to tuck. And then those are your two pieces made. So the way this is going to work is, so I want this to be on my outside, so that's how I'm going to place it. So I'm gonna put this one down, the one with the side tabs, and line that up where I cut it as best I can. And I'm going to lift these tabs and kind of push it and make an indentation where my little cardboard piece is, and kind of use that to my advantage to make a fold. And then I will just fold this over and fold this over. If you want to glue those in place, you can. I don't always, it just depends on what kind of paper I'm using. But you can definitely glue those down if you feel they need the extra weight support. Like so. And so this end is already covered, so you don't have to worry about it. So you're gonna take your one with your top and bottom tabs and kind of put it against where the cardboard is still showing and flip it over. And then you're gonna do the same thing here where you're kind of using your edges to make that indentation for you, make it a little easier. But instead of gluing them down like we did the other one, what we're gonna try and do is get that tucked in between the cardboard and that first paper that we glued down. So this is where cutting those edges comes in handy, because if they stick, just it's really, really hard to get it in there. So I will push that in as best I can. And then the last one is always the trickiest one, so give it some time, some patience, you'll get it. Yeah, stiff, stiff, stiff. Okay, it's gonna wanna do this, so you gotta like work it in there. Like so. And then you have like a lovely covered piece of paper. So if you can sneak glue in here, you can totally glue it down. I like to, just so my tabs don't pull out. So I'm just gonna like sneak some glue right here. And then glue that in. And I'm gonna wipe away that excess so it doesn't make a mess everywhere. And then same thing with this one, it's just lifting a little bit and I wanna prevent that. So I'm just gonna like sneak some glue. And just kind of push that closed. And then again, wipe away that excess that I don't want. So then you're going to determine which side you want to adhere your book to. Because remember, we need that little tab to go into our book cover. So this guy is going to be put in here. So I think I want, yeah, I think I want it to go like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue this side down. So again, just like sneaking some glue in there. Just kind of gluing that down so it's nice, it doesn't lift. And then instead of gluing this one down, I'm going to put glue in this top part here and push my tab in. So again, just gluing in here. Don't need too much. And I'm just gonna put my tab right in there. And make sure it can still fold. And just kind of push that together. Like so. And then it's just the exact same process the other side. So if you need to see it again, just go ahead and rewind. And then once you have both covers on, it'll look like this. I have two covers.